What did you learn in the previous session? Forgot?
We learn about Selenium theoretical part, and we also talk about RC and web drivers and all.
Yeah. So we learned about the different tools in Selenium Suite. What are the different tools present in Selenium Suite? We learned about Selenium IDE, Selenium WebDriver, Selenium RC, and Selenium Grid. Those are the things we have discussed. And what is the difference between all these tools? I mean, why we have to go into these tools? What is RC? What is same origin policy? And then what was the problem with JavaScript test runner? So those things that we have learned. What was the problem with JavaScript test runner? What was the problem with JavaScript test runner? It was having an issue. That is the reason we moved or we created RCA and the WebDriver. What was the problem? Don't remember it? Same origin policy. Right? Issue was same origin policy. See, this is JavaScript test runner initial work. So we were having an issue called same origin policy. And the alternative to this is install the application and Selenium core in the local machine. Then Paul Hamath created Selenium RC, which removed the same origin policy by making the application server and this user's machine assume that they are on the same server or same machine by using a trick called HTTP proxy. Okay, and then Selenium WebDriver created by Simon Stewart. This is acting on the browser from OS level, not from the backend. That is not using the JavaScript, but it is using the user interactions which are being performed on the browser level, and this uses JSON wire protocol. And this is an interface. That means we already know what is an interface. Right? So this is an interface, and all the classes that are being implementing this interface are created by the browser organizations. Whoever is developing a browser, they have to write or they have to implement this interface and give us the implementations. And then we have Selenium Grid, which is used for parallel execution and execution of our scripts in remote machines. That's all. And then we have seen versions of Selenium, version 2, version 3, and currently version 4 is also being developed, where in version 2 Selenium RC and WebDriver are combined together. Selenium version 3 RC is completely removed, and Selenium version 4 there are some new locator strategies that are being added and some more changes that are being added. And it has also heard that Selenium is also going to add Angular elements, I mean inspection or detection of Angular elements. Currently, Selenium doesn't support AngularJS applications or Angular locators directly. We can use XPath, but that doesn't support fully. So for AngularJS applications, we do not have Selenium, readily we do not have Selenium WebDriver support, but it is heard that they are also going to implement that as part of Selenium. Okay. And Selenium supported languages are these many, and the differences between these things we already discussed yesterday. Okay, so this is all about introduction that we learned in our previous session. Okay, then just configure WebDriver. I think we can hold this a little bit because we haven't learned about Selenium IDE yet, right? So for Selenium IDE, we don't need these things. Okay. So before going to Selenium IDE, I'll show you some demo applications where you can use or you can use those applications for your practice. One of the application is RNHRM. I think we have already seen this, right? Once yesterday. This is one of the site which is related to the resource management of an organization by HR team. Okay, so you can see there are various functionalities that are present inside this site. So there is an admin link where you can perform all the admin activities, user management, and then job titles, pay grades, employment status, organization, qualification, nationalities, configuration, and if you want to configure any emails and all those things, here it is. And then PIM is another module where it is related to the employee. Okay, leaves, time, recruitment. So like this, you have so many things where you can practice Selenium on this application. Okay, this is one, and then we have YouTube demo UT. This was another site where we have used this. Why is it being redirected? Okay, this is having some problem. Fine. It's not working. Maybe I have so many other applications. So these are the different other applications. This one is not working for now. Okay. And then, this is the one that we have seen now. This is another service desk ITIL process demo site. This is also a dummy site where you can do your practice, or where you can trial your automation. Okay, you can log in as a technician. You can create a ticket. You can see the ticket status. You can change it. You see, there are multiple options here. HR facilities. Okay, so you have so many activities you can search. See, with this catalog, summary, tasks, reminders, approval. So you have so many things like this. You can create tickets, you can add announcements. You can practice on this. Okay. And similarly, there is another one. This is about school application, school management application. I'll share all these URLs. Don't worry. Okay. So here we are maintaining a school application, and we are having different roles like admin, employee, student, and guardian. So if you log in as an admin, you will see some features. You log in as an employee, you'll see some features. Students see some features. Guardians some features. So let me see student. Okay, this is also not working. We have We can use area. See, yeah. So there admin once I log in, I see total students, total employees, and then these all information. It might be there is some issue with this site. Earlier, these used to be
What is this all site about? Management prep school. What is this about?
so you are maintaining the attendance of students and you are maintaining the employees of your school. How many are present, how many are absent, attendance management, results management, transport details, everything you can store inside this.
Oh, for Selenium to give us a practice for WebDriver, he was doing this. Okay.
Exactly. So we are not going to deal with these applications. These are not our applications. But for you to practice, there needs to be some applications, right? You cannot directly practice on production applications like Facebook or Twitter or any other applications. You won't be allowed to automate. So that is the reason I'm showing you these applications where you can try your automation. Okay. But we still loading or there is some problem with this site as well now. And then this is other site, zero ERP. This is also again similar to ERP site. This is similar to this one, service desk plus. This is another site. Okay. Same. On zero ERP, we are having school management application. Same this school ERP, but with a different UI and different details. You can see the dashboard. You can change the admission process. See the admission process. You can start the admission. So what you have so many things. You can maintain homework for the people, students, report evaluation, library. See, like this, we have so many things which we can manage about school. We can also use this. Then we have service desk plus MSP. This is another demo site of service desk plus. See, you can click on enterprise administrator. This is another service desk plus MSP where you can create requests, tasks, and all other things. We can use this site as well. This is service desk plus MSP. This is some other thing. So similar tools for the same purpose. Okay. So these are the links that we have. You can use any of these things for your practice. Any of these things, except I mean currently this is not working. Not sure why. And this is partially working, so you can use the rest of the items. Okay, I'll also share some other URLs which I found recently. I'll add to this list and then share it with you so you can practice. In our sessions, we are going to use this Orange HRM for practicing because it is simple, easy to understand, and all the functionality. Most of the people use this Orange HRM, and we have everything inside this. All the different types of elements. So we'll use this Orange HRM. Okay. All right. Now let me close this. So these are the demo applications that we are going to use. Okay. Now let us see the official documentation of Selenium, selenium.dev. Okay. So whatever the information that you want about Selenium, you can go to the selenium.dev. It has clear every information about Selenium, including history, latest updates, downloads, and then any questions. If you have any issues with the Selenium, you can also restrict the support. And then if you want to read some information about Selenium and what's going on, you can go to the blogs. Okay, so you have everything at this place. This is one-stop solution or one-stop place for Selenium. Okay, now like I said, Selenium RC is completely remote. You see, there are only 3 tools as part of the Selenium suite: Selenium WebDriver, Selenium IDE, and Selenium Grid. So these are the only 3 tools. Okay, before going to Selenium WebDriver, let us see what is Selenium IDE. Okay, so if you want to create quick bug reproduction scripts, create scripts to add automation and even exploratory testing, then you want to use Selenium IDE. So generally, earlier Selenium IDE was in much scope, or Selenium IDE was much used. And this was developed by Shinya Katasani from Japan, I think, sir. Yeah, this was created. Selenium IDE was developed by Shinya Katasani. So earlier, this used to support only Firefox. Selenium IDE was an extension to the Firefox. And then if you want to create any scripts, they used to create only in Firefox, but it was possible to run in any browsers. But IDE, this installation was only to Firefox. But now they have changed. Why should we only give or why should we give partiality to one browser? Why should we not support all the other browsers? And then they have developed the extension for Chrome browser as well. So they have developed Selenium IDE extension for Chrome browser as well. So so many days Selenium IDE was not used, and this was left unattended or unmaintained. Slowly Selenium IDE, we thought that Selenium IDE is going to be what do we say, retire. But recently, after this Selenium project was taken care by Google, and now the Selenium website is revamped and Selenium IDE is again brought back into the picture. Okay, we thought Selenium IDE is going to get retired and we are going to have only Selenium WebDriver and Selenium Grid. But due to recent changes, due to recent change in the announcements, and then organizations supported, so Selenium IDE again came into picture. Okay, so these are all the some Selenium level sponsors. These are all the organizations supporting Selenium. Okay. Now let us see how do we use this Selenium IDE. Or if you want to see more information about what are the projects which are available under Selenium, you can just click on projects. You'll see this is Selenium WebDriver and this is the Selenium WebDriver information. This is Selenium IDE, this is the Selenium IDE information. This is Selenium Grid information. All the footer is same. So now let us see about Selenium IDE. Now see, it is a Chrome and Firefox extension that makes it easy to record and playback tests in the browser. So what are we doing here? Record and playback. This Selenium IDE helps us record the user actions. Record the user actions so that we can write or automate our scripts. And the next, simple turnkey solutions to quickly author reliable end-to-end tests without, okay, this is some information about WebReady, and then it is easier for debugging or maintenance. So they have added rich IDE experiences into the Selenium IDE recently. And then we can also have this cross-browser execution, okay, combination in parallel using the command line runner for Selenium IDE. We are not going to use this command line runner, we are going to use the Selenium IDE extension. But if you want in cross-browser, we can also use this. So click on this. This is whole information about Selenium IDE. Ready to use, resilient tests. So the tool will look like this. Okay, I'll show you in a little while. And then you can create test case and reuse the same test case multiple times. And then you can also add control flow statements. This is specifically mentioned here because in Selenium IDE, there were no control flow statements earlier. Control flow statements were not present in Selenium IDE. We used to have just record and playback, and we were not able to have the control over the scripts. Okay, so you won't be able to control the execution flow. like by using if condition or while condition or loops. So those were not present in IDE. But recently, with the recent development, these all conditional statements and iteration statements or control flow statements were added to Selenium IDE. So that is the reason they have mentioned it specifically here. And then if you want to connect this Selenium IDE with other tools or other things, we have n number of plugins which you can install and then use third-party services. Okay. Now, you see, the Selenium IDE can be installed on Chrome and can be installed on Firefox. Only two browsers. Currently, it is being supported only two browsers, but they are also trying to execute or create an extension for Edge also. I heard or I read somewhere. I'm not sure whether they are going to do it or not. But currently, the Selenium IDE is supporting two browsers, which is Chrome and Firefox. To get this Selenium IDE installed on your browser, you can just go to this place, click on Chrome download. It will take you to the extensions page. You see Selenium IDE. Since it is already installed on my machine, you are seeing remove from Chrome. But in your machines, if you open this Selenium IDE, then it will show install. Okay, let me show you that. I'll remove it and show you. You see, add to Chrome. If it is not present on your browser, it will be shown as add to Chrome. Okay, just click on add to Chrome and then click add extension. This Selenium IDE extension will be added to your browser. Okay, you see that this is added and now it is showing remove from Chrome. And okay, so this is one way you can come to this, click on Chrome download, it will automatically take. And for Firefox, you can open Firefox and then click on Firefox download. Since this is Chrome, this will be showing like this, but inside Firefox, you will see this add Firefox. Okay. Firefox browser. Okay. If I click on Firefox download, since it is already installed, you will see remove from Firefox. You see remove. But if it is already not there in your machines, you haven't installed Selenium, so add Firefox or add to Firefox. Okay. So you can install this and you can start automating applications using record and playback. This is only for record and playback and temporary tools. You see here earlier, this used to be the documentation site. This was the site. This was the site where you see seleniumhq.org. That was the original site which used to look like this. But recently they have changed it to this way. This is the site now. Complete transformation from this to this. Understood? So they have completely transformed this. And even this is also, this is not, this is the latest one. Earlier there used to be other IDE which looks a little different than when compared to this. Okay. Let it be. Let us start using this IDE. Okay. Now once you can go to these projects and then download from there, or once you get to the selenium.dev, you can come here, you can see, you can click on download. It will take to this downloads page, and then here you will have Selenium IDE. On Selenium IDE, you have it's for Chrome, for Firefox, or view the release notes. Okay, so when what features are released and what are the things, if you are curious about what are the things that are going to be added in the latest release, then you can see this support resize, and these are all the things that were added in the latest version, which is released in March 17th, 2020. That was the latest release last year, March. It's been 1 year now. There are no updates on this. And before this, you just see December 2, 2019. 2019. So this is when they started working on it. 2019. 2019. Then let us go back to version 2. Okay. You will see that will be stopped in around 2013 or somewhere. This is all versions 3. These many changes that they have added recently from 2019 to 2020 March, they have added all these features. Okay. All right. You see, execute script and control flow changes they have added in August 30, 2018. This is all version 3. Where is version 2? That's all. So this is when they started updating it. Before this, we were having, we stopped it. Everything is stopped. Where is these many versions? That information is not maintained here. They are showing this history from 2017 only, you see. But we have other things, version 0.1 and 0.2 before that. So since 2017, they have worked a lot. They have tried much, and then they have completed this by March 2020. Okay, right. So here I thought of showing you the old version and the old date, but it is not being displayed here. It's okay. All right. Now once we install this for Chrome, you will see the extensions installed here. But you see currently that extension is not being displayed here. So to see if that is installed or not, when I tried installing this on Chrome, it says it is already added. Right? You see it is already added in Chrome, but I do not see the extension here. In that case, you can click on this information, go to more tools, go to extensions. Inside this extension, you see this Selenium IDE. So this is present already. Selenium IDE is present and enabled. So since there are other extensions which are already added here, Selenium IDE is not being displayed here. So I can manage it with this. You see, Selenium IDE, if I pin it, it will be always shown here. Okay. So this is the icon that you are going to see, Selenium IDE. So when you want to create automation scripts, just click on the Selenium IDE. It will open a tool. You're able to see my screen, right? This new window is open for Selenium IDE. You are seeing this, right? Selenium IDE is open when I clicked on the Selenium IDE extension.
Yeah, but I have one question, Nikhil. We can't do in the Eclipse or Visual Studio. Do we need a separate ID for Selenium?
This is different. This is one of the tool of Selenium suite. That is what we discussed right in our previous session. This is another tool.
No, is this a mandatory one? That's what my question is.
It's not mandatory, but if you don't want, I can skip it. But this is
no. I'm just asking. It's not about you skipping. I'm asking. For Selenium, we can go with any IDE, right? Just
yeah, we can go. Yeah, we can go with any IDE. See, this IDE is different. We are saying this is extension of Selenium IDE extension. So this is Selenium Integrated Development Environment. Instead of Eclipse or Visual Studio, Selenium has given its own IDE. Okay, so this is Selenium IDE. IDE means what? Integrated Development Environment, where you can develop your scripts. So this is Selenium IDE. Selenium itself has given a IDE for us, where you can develop your scripts. Okay. All right. So this is the place. So when you click on this extension, Selenium IDE is open. Okay. It is asking you some information. You see, whether you want to create a new test in a new project or open an existing project or create a new project or close. If you don't want to do anything, you have to close. So I want to record a new test in a new project because I do not have any saved projects, right? So I want to record a new test. Now it is asking the project name. I'll say demo project. Okay, I'm creating a project so that I can create any number of test cases inside this project. Okay, and then this is asking the base URL. That means where do you want to start the recording, or where do you want to automate, or what application do you want to automate? Okay, this is the site. Now I'll give here our Orange HRM site. That is the URL where I want to automate. Okay, and then you see this is a start recording button. Once I click on start recording, it will start recording. You see, automatically it opened the browser and it is started. You can see here Selenium IDE is recording in the bottom. Right? Maximize this. It is still showing. So when I move my mouse till there, it says it is hiding. But you see Selenium IDE is recording is being displayed in the bottom. Right? Now let's see. Start admin. Then see recorded click, it is also displaying the actions. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and then I'll click on login button. That's all. Now if you want to stop this, you can also stop. Okay. Let's go back. You see, this is the place, this is where from where you can stop your recording. I can stop this. Now, what is this test name? Login recorded. This is a test case, for example. Okay. So whatever the actions that I did, all the actions were created here. We have opened this site. Okay, and we did not add any new pages. We are directly opening this. So that is why you are seeing a single slash. And then I maximized the browser. You see, that is why I set window size to 1936 into 1056. Whatever the operations I did, those were created here. And this is, I clicked somewhere. So that is why it is showing you clicked somewhere. So this is not needed for us, right? So if you have some unnecessary actions like this, you can remove this, delete, and this is also not needed. Delete for login. Okay, and then okay, I want to type the username. Then I don't want to click other places. This click is not needed for us. Okay, this also, if you are directly entering, that is fine. Why don't we don't have to click on it? So delete it, and then I'm clicking on login button. What is this button? Login again. Something, okay. Yes, and then after logging in, I'm clicking on PIM module. So this is this. So now we have a script where you see some commands. Open, we are opening this URL with this base URL, and then we are having a type because we are we are entering our username, right? So that action can be done with the help of method called type, and then again we are entering the password for that type, and for clicking we are having click. So like this, we have commands, and these commands take parameters of target and value. So for type, we need to enter the text. So what is the text that will be present inside the value? For click, there is no need of value. We are not entering any value, so we are not giving the value parameter. Okay, but your Selenium should know where it should type, right? So this is the target. So this command knows where to type with the help of this target. This is the place where I'm entering username. This is the place where I'm entering password. This is the login button where I'm clicking on it. This is the PIM link which I should click on. Understood? So this is the command. This is the target element where the operation is being performed, and value is an optional parameter based on the need. If you need something, some text to be entered or some values that needs to be passed to the script, then you use this value. Okay, Now let me, we have recorded this. Let me run this. Let me log out this, the previous login. Okay, now we are closing it. Now let's see. Let us run this and see. You just see, these are already recorded. I'm just running it. You see the username password is entered. And then there is some this login button. Okay, this login button is not clicked. So let us see what is the problem with this login button. Okay, it is still trying. The login button was not successful here. See, this is failed because you can also see this logs, runs, failures, and the log information. So you see everything. This is the execution log. Once you execute, you'll see this information. This is failed. Implicit wait after 30,000 milliseconds. That means after 30 seconds, it was trying to find this element for 30 seconds, but it was not found. So it is throwing error. And why this click not happen? Because now you see the login button properties. You see, this is input. We have to, if you want to click on button, you have to click on this input, but I clicked on this div. So that is the reason this is unable to proceed further and then see the next screen. Now let us change this identification. So the target, you see, I am clicking on ID is equals to div login button. So what is this ID is equals to div login button? You have to open this inspect, or you have to open this developer options. We can do this in multiple ways. Right click on the element, go to inspect, or press Ctrl Shift I. That is the shortcut for opening a inspect, opening or closing both. You see, currently the developer options are opened. Ctrl Shift I, closed. Ctrl Shift I, open. Okay. Then let us go to this element. This element is starting with input and it is having ID button login. But what is the thing that we have recorded? A div login button. From where is this coming? This one, div login button. That means we are clicking somewhere in this section. You see the highlighted blue color one? Instead of clicking on the button, we are clicking somewhere in this section. But we have to click on this button. So that is the reason it is failing. So now let us change this target. Okay. So this is not the ID. What is the ID? ID is button login. Okay. ID is equals to button login. That's all. Okay. Now let me run it again. Did it log in now? You see, all the steps are passed. All the steps are in green color. So this is how you record and playback your scripts. And now let us see a little more information about this Selenium IDE. So you got it. You got this right? How to record and how to playback basic operations. Once you get that, then we can see what are the things that are available in this IDE project. What is this executing? What is this window? What is this window? What is reference? All these things we'll see now. Okay. You understood the basic operation of the Selenium IDE, right? Record and playback. Fine. So this is Selenium IDE where we have created our test cases. You see here, while executing it, will show this executing window, which one is being executed. But if you want to see your test cases that you created or test that you created, click on this test. You see this one, this was the one that I created, sample login recorded script. Okay, I did not save it, so that is the reason it is showing a star mark. Once I save it, you don't see the star mark. You see, I pressed Ctrl S and the star mark is gone. Okay. This, whatever the scripts, if you want to save, it will be saved on .side extension. Okay, demo project .side. So if I save it on desktop, it will be saved. See, this will be on our desktop. Let it be, no problem. You see this demo project dot set. Once you have your project recorded or your scripts recorded and stored inside file, and next time if you want to open this project, so you can come to here and then you want to open a new, open an existing project, right? So you can see here, open project. Click on it. Search for the project where you have stored demo project dot set. I'll click on open. That project will be open. That's all. Okay. All right. So now this is the test folder where you can create your test cases. Now this is sample login where we have created a test case. This is with the help of recording. Okay. Now this is another test case. I want to add a new test case. Demo test, adding steps. Add. Okay. Now you see for this also I did not give any
Is this
URL.
called BDD? Is this the one BDD?
No, this is not BDD. BDD is behavioral driven document. That is a different framework which will be achieved using Cucumber. We'll see that later. Once we complete most of the Selenium, we'll go to Cucumber. Okay. So this is Selenium IDE, which is by default given by Selenium. Okay. If you want to use, we'll use it. Otherwise, you can ignore this. But just for your knowledge, I'm showing you that this is available and this we might also use in our projects when needed. Okay. All right. So this demo test where you can add steps. So here I did not add any of these steps. When I recorded, all these steps came here. Right? If you want to record, you can click on this record button and then it starts recording. Okay, but I don't want to record. I want to create my own steps. Okay, then you see here, it's a plain test case, demo test adding steps. So this is a plain test case. Now I clicked on here. First step, you see here, this command is there. You can select from the range of commands which are available here. You see, these many commands are available. You can select any of these. I want to open, and what I want to open, I want to open an empty space. That means I open this URL and I don't want to go to any other sub page. So that is why I'm using this. Then after this, what I want to do? I want to enter my username. Like for example, go back to this site again. Log out. I'm using the same URL. Okay. Once we get to this page, now what we have to do? We have to enter username on this, right? Okay, so that means we have to type something here. Now our command is type. Okay. Now I don't know what are the things that I have to pass to this type method. Then you see the reference tab here below log reference. Once we click on this reference, you will see all the information about reference. This is type, which is taking a locator, which is taking a value inside it. What is it doing? What does this type command does? What are the arguments that we have? A locator and a value. So we have to find a locator and then we have to pass a value. So value is, we know that is the username admin. So we gave it. That's fine. Then the target. So where we have to enter this admin. We have a username and password, but where we have to enter the username in this place, right? We know that because the background text is showing as username. We know it, but how does Selenium know it? That this is the place where I have to enter the username, right? So that is the reason we have to give this target. On which element do you want to enter the text? Okay. So to identify the target, you see the select target in the page. Just click on it. This is open this page. Yes, I want this page. Just click on it. So select target on page. Okay, one is open. Okay, no tab is available because this tab is opened manually. So that is why it is saying no tab is available to identify that element. That's fine. Open it. This is the window that got opened, right? Now you see type, and this is allowing us to target. So I'll just, you observe the steps, right? I clicked on this. Now I want to find the target. So I'm clicking on the select targeted page. Once I click on it, it will take me to that browser. And you will see wherever I'm moving my cursor, it is showing all the elements behind it. You see this? Login button, forgot link password, this one, this one, this one. So I want to enter the text in username. So I'll select this. That's all. Now you see the text is automatically added here. Earlier this was not there. Target ID is added. Now next what? I want to enter password. So I want to type it. And then what is the password? I know it is admin123, but I don't know the target again. Click on it. See, ID is equals to txt password, that is added here. Understood? Like this, you are selecting a command, you are selecting a target, you are selecting a value. Now, after entering username and password, what we have to do? We have to click on login button, right? So I'm using click, and where do I want to click? I don't need to enter any value, but I just want to click on it. Where do I want to click? I want to click on this login button. Okay. Either I can use this select targeted page or inspect element button. This is the latest added one. Earlier this one was also not there. Okay. So this is present now. We can use this to identify the element. Or if I don't want to use that inspect, I want to write my own, then right click on this button, inspect, you will see the developer options. On this developer options, you will have some properties, HTML properties. You see this? Once I right click and inspect, you will see a blue color line on that particular element. And it is highlighting the login button. See that? Okay, you see this login? That is highlighting. So I have some properties here, value, ID, class, name, and all these things. So I can use this ID. ID is equals to button. I don't want to copy. I don't want to use inspect. I can directly use it. Sorry. Target is this. No redundant. That's all. And if you want to check whether this is correct or not, you have this find target in page, right? If you click on it, it will highlight it. You see that black color thing is coming and going. See? You observed it? Right? Okay. Now we have created this. We are opening the browser, we are typing the username, we are typing the password, we are clicking on it. And if you want to see that whether this is entering correctly or not, okay, now just double click on this, it will run. Okay. You see, admin is entered, only that particular step is run. And then you want to see only this, double click on it, password. This will also be run, entered. Then double click on this, click, it will be locked. You see? Okay. So this is how you can check an individual step in Selenium. The same individual step cannot be tested in WebDriver. Okay. So you are running that particular step because this browser is associated with this. So you are able to do it from that particular step. Okay. All right. Now we have seen what is this command, what is this target, what is this value, and how do we add these targets. So to perform the operations, we have to add the targets. It should know which element, on which element it should perform the action. So that is why we give this. And then you don't want to see all this information, you just want to see information. What are you doing in this step? You see, the actual implementation is being hidden. You are seeing enter username. Okay. can create like this test cases by mentioning the description. Now, HRM, enter username, and then enter password, and then click on login. You see, you are seeing the test case now. And when you hover over it, you will see the actual operation of it. Entering the user and then open Orange HR. So this is about IDE creating all these things. Okay. Now we have seen that test case pane. This is the test case pane where we have added our test cases. Okay. Right. So we have multiple tests here. Okay, we have multiple tests. Now we have created a test case by adding the steps manually and by recording. Both are same. Okay. All right. We have both of them. So this is a place where you create your test case. This is a test case editor. Okay. Fine. Now, this is a pane where you will see the project details. Okay. Once you are on the test tab, you will see the test cases. And then if you go to test suits, we have a default suite which consists of sample login because that was the only one that we got saved. We saved it. Now, if we save the other one as well, save it. Yes. Now we see it is already added into these things. So let me go to this. So you see sample login recorded was the default one. Now if you want to add other suits as well, I mean other test cases that we added as well, then you see this, click on this, and okay, that is added test suite. Here, okay. Here we can add tests. Add a test. And this was the one that is added to this suite. Now if you want to add this. So now what happens is, what is the difference between these tests and test suite? So test is individual test cases where you can run them individually. But I want to run a list of test cases one after the other. So to do that, I have to go to test suite, add whatever the test cases that I want to add into this suite. For example, this is default suite, but I want to rename it. This is not default suite. I say this is regression suite. All the regression test cases will be present inside this. Okay. Now, if I run this, it will run both the test cases, sample login recorded and demo test adding steps. You see that. It will do that 2 times. Okay, since this is already logged in, it will throw an error. It will get a session. Logged in once. Okay, and it is going to start the second one. Second one also. Oh, we have multiple browsers. Let me close this. So it opened twice, but we didn't see it because we have multiple things. Okay. Now let me run this again. You see, it will do 2 times. Logged in, closed. Okay. You see, I pressed the wrong button. If you want to run all tests in the suite, we have to run this. So this is one problem. Even if you are closing the browser, this is not getting logged out. Okay, second time it is opening, but second time since it is already logged in, it will be there and this will be failed now. It will be unable to enter the username, so it will fail. Because we are not on the login page. Okay, it will wait for 30 seconds and then it will fail. But you understood this suit, right? In test case, you can run only individual tests. In test suits, you can create a test suite. I mean, you can create multiple test cases under a suite, and then when you say run all tests, whatever the test cases which are present inside this suite will be executed one after the other. Okay. All right. Now there is some issue. If you want to run by default, the execution speed is fast. You can also make it slow. Okay. And let me show that it will run very slow. Now it entered very fastly, right? I changed this execution speed to slow, and then let me run this particular test. So it will be very slow. Just waiting. Enter. And then to click on login also, it is taking some time. So when you have this execution speed as a slow, it will by default add some dummy weights or static weights between each step. After performing this step, it will wait for some time. After performing this step, it will wait for some time. So like that, we have this option, execution speed. You can set this speed as your wish, but by default, it will be in fast mode. Okay. All right. And then for suppose you want to debug something. Okay, something is not working, or some element is not working, and you want to debug it. So we want to add a breakpoint. So to add a breakpoint, I want to stop while entering password. You see this? Just click on the number so that it will add a breakpoint. Now when I run this, it will come to here and then it will stop at this point. Okay, let me log out this. All right. Now when I run this, it will stop at this password until I press next. You see, this is stopped at this position. If you want to see, you can see username is entered, but it is not entering password. It is stopped at this position. Why? Because I added a breakpoint. So I want to stop my execution at this point and I want to go line by line. Okay. So if you want to run continuously after coming to this point, you can click on this. Or if you want to go step by step, you see this step over current command. Then it will step over this command and wait at the next step. You see, password is entered and waiting for us for the next action. You can click on this again. It will click on login and it will wait for the next step to happen. See? Okay. So this is what debugging is. Wherever you are having some issues, you can have a breakpoint and then go line by line so that you can see what is the issue, where is the exact issue, what is happening there. All those things you can see while debugging. Now we added a breakpoint. Whenever we run, it will stop at this point. I don't want to stop at this particular point, so I can disable this breakpoint. That means the breakpoint is there, but it is disabled. It won't stop here. I want to completely remove it. Just double click. Just click on this number again. Okay. Just click on this number. It will remove the breakpoint. Understood? All right. So this is having breakpoints, execution speed, running a particular test, and running complete test suite. Let's go back to tests. Again, you will have the same. Run all tests in the test cases, running a particular test case which you have selected, and then this is for debugging. See, I don't want to run, so I'll just stop it. This icon is for debugging. This is for execution speed, and for recording and playback, you use this record button. To stop the recording or pause on exceptions. If you have any exception that is like this is not found now. If element is not found, then there is an exception. If you want to stop when you find an exception, then you can enable this button. Okay. If you want to create a new project, click on this. If you want to open already existing project, click on this. If you want to save this project, then save this. So like this, you have information. And then this log is the actions that we are performing. And then reference, if you want to see some information about some element, what is it doing, what does a click do, what does a type do. If you want to see the information about those elements, you can see here. Understood? So this is basic about Selenium IDE. You can create test suites where combine all those test cases into this regression suite. Or you can create multiple suites. Each of them might have different test cases that needs to be executed, like build one, release one test cases, release two test cases. You can have any number of suites and you can add those test cases into these steps. Okay. So any questions in this? Any questions in this IDE? If not, we can move on from IDE to other topics. Let us finish the setup of WebDriver. Or what are the things that we need for the WebDriver? Let us see those things. Can I go ahead? Okay, you can practice on this. You can automate any of the application. You can see the element locators and all those things. Okay, Selenium supports 8 different element locators. So based on those 8 different locators, you will see this target options as well. Earlier, this one was also not there. It wasn't giving any suggestions for us for the element location techniques, but now it is giving. You can also find it by using its ID, using its name, using its styling attribute, using XPath. XPath also, they are giving us 3 different suggestions. Okay. So like this, we have for each element, we will have those suggestions. Okay. You can use any of those suggestions. If you don't like ID, you can go with CSS. That's fine. Okay. So this is all about Selenium IDE. Any questions on this? You can have practice. You can try adding other statements. We have assert statements. We have verification statements. If you want to verify something, see, verify it is editable, verify the element is present or not, verify it is not checked, verify not editable, verify the text whether it is present or not. So like this, you have so many methods, so many commands in this. So see, verify text. So it is taking a locator and it is also taking a text attribute. If you want to see whether the text is present inside that element or not, you can pass that particular text and this will verify that. Similarly, we have assert text. See, assert text. Same. Okay. So we have so many things. If you want to verify a few things, if you want to store, so many methods here. Based on the need, we can use whatever we want. Double click for each loop, if condition. Okay, so you have so many things. Whatever you want, we can use. And if you want more information, you see, click on this. You'll see the reference here, and you'll see a link here. If you click on it, it will be taking you to information about it. On Selenium IDE. Arguments where this is about if, right? See, conditional expression. Name is conditional expression. Description, JavaScript expression that returns a Boolean result for using control flow statements. So what is control flow? This is added here. You see, these are all the statements we have. If else, and times, and do, repeat, if, while, and these are all the things. Okay. Now let us see what is conditional branching if. So like this, you have all the documentation here. You can also see some sample code here for if else. You see, if some variable value is equals to some value, then perform this, else this. So you are adding if else conditions in Selenium IDE. Understood? So that's all. This is about Selenium IDE. Generally, we don't use it, but if in case you need, you can use this. That's all. Okay. All right. So let's close this Selenium IDE and then go to the WebDriver setup. Any questions, Yanji or Bobby, on Selenium IDE?
No, Nikhil.
So
we don't use this in our office. That's why I'm just confused.
Yeah, we don't use it because, like I said, I thought of showing you the earlier versions or earlier when it was developed or stopped. Okay, it got stopped. The usage of this tool got stopped around 2013, And then again this started, I mean, people started using this, or people started maintaining this Selenium IDE tool in 2018 itself. That means there was around 5 to 6 years gap in Selenium IDE. Okay, so these 5 to 6 years we thought, okay, Selenium IDE is going to be done. But later again, when the Selenium project was taken care or was handled by Google team, dedicated Google team, then it started again having these new features. We never know that this might be used in your organization. So that is the reason I just gave basic info. Okay. All right. So now let us go into our next tool, which is Selenium IDE. Okay. So for that Selenium IDE is done. Let us go into Selenium WebDriver. So to use Selenium WebDriver, what are the things that we need? Selenium HQ.org. So this will again take me to the selenium.dev. You see, I typed Selenium HQ.org. It will automatically redirect. You see, it redirected to selenium.dev. Okay, fine. Now we are done with the Selenium IDE. Let us see Selenium WebDrivers. Okay, just click on this download. It will take us to this downloads page. Okay. Now you see, for Selenium WebDriver, we need to have a language binding. On which language do you want to automate? Ruby, Java, Python, C# and JavaScript. I want to do it on Java. So click on this, download. I don't want the beta version. I want the stable version. So I won't click on beta download. I'll click on download. If you want to see what is the differences between the previous versions and latest versions, you can click on this change log. You see, beta 4 is having these modifications. Beta 3 is having these changes added. Okay. If you see some number here, that means this is an issue which was issue reported by users or a ticket created on Selenium. So these are all the issues reported, and people are fixing those issues along with some other information, along with some other issues. Okay, so these are all the things that they are doing. Changes on command prompt, changes on grid, changes on Firefox driver, and then some options related and Docker related, and then some other grid related. You see, they are giving what are the things that they are changing on the Selenium. Okay, see, these are all the things that they are updating. Implement, minimize window. Earlier only maximize window was there. Now they are implementing minimize window also. Like this, you see all the information. Currently, we are at this version 3.141.5. This is the stable version that we have. So currently, we are using this version 3. And once this version 4 becomes stable and releases latest version, then we are going to shift to version 4. Okay. So what is happening in this version 4? All the changes that are happening in latest version are shown here. Okay. So some security has been changed, some location of this driver configurable is changed, and so okay. So these are all the things that are added. Okay. And the one interesting topic that is added in version 4 is relative locator. Okay, but since we are not using version 4, now we cannot see this relative locator. You can see it later. We are using version 3 now because this is the stable version. Okay. Now, okay, I will go to the selenium.dev and then I'll go to downloads directly, or I'll go to home. On this page, you can click on download. It will also take you to the downloads page itself. You see, again, we are in the downloads page. Selenium Grid, we'll see later. You see, this one is the one that we need. WebDriver language bindings. Okay. Now inside this, we are going to select the Java language and click on download. Okay. this will download a jar file, which will support this. This is downloading a zip file, which will support our Selenium. Okay, now we have this Java files. Let us see. Show it folder. I'll cut this. I'll cut this. I'll paste in our folder. Selenium. Files. Okay. I already have one with the same version 3.141.5. Okay, that is extracted. Once you extracted in the folder, you will see jar files. You see this 1, 2 jar files, and in under libraries folder, you will again see jar files. So these are the dependencies, or these are the jar files which are helping Java to understand Selenium. So now we need these jar files to be added to our project. So to do that, what we have to do is open our Eclipse. Okay, Eclipse is open. Now inside this, we do not have we have only Java libraries. You see only Java jar files, right? But we want help of Java, or we want a help of some jar files so that our Java can understand Selenium, right? So for that reason, we have downloaded these jar files. Now what we have to do is we have to add these jar files to our project. Okay, so to do that, on your project, right click, go to build path and click on configure build path. Okay, now once you see this Java build path and under libraries tab, select class path. See this is a class path, and click on add external jars. Add external jars. Now it will ask you to select the jar files. So I'll go to files used, and then I want Selenium Java, this version, right? 3.141.5. Open this folder, select these jar files and click on open. Now the jar files are added to the class path. Again select class path, add external jars, go to libraries, select our jar files, click on open. Now all the jar files are added here. See it? Click on. Observe here, there is only GRE system library. Now once I apply it, there will be another folder added here, another library added. Applied. You see reference to libraries. The jar files which we added will be here. Understood? So inside this, we have all the methods which are related to Selenium language binding. You see, org.openqa.selenium. You have all the information about Selenium here. About Chrome browser, what are the events that you have to do, about Edge, about Firefox, and all the other information. Okay. So all the Selenium libraries are added here. Okay. See, Selenium libraries and Selenium related libraries. Now your project will be able to understand Selenium code as well. Okay. So we have done one part, that is adding this language binding. Since we have to automate, or we are writing code using Java, we downloaded Java language binding. We are binding a language with the Selenium operations. That means we are making Selenium understand that we are sending, writing or executing Java code to perform the operations. That is done. Now we have to work on the browsers, right? Like I said, the Selenium WebDriver is an interface. That means it has only method names, but it doesn't on the interface. It has only method names, but it doesn't have any implementation. So somebody has to do that implementation, right? So for that, we have to download the browser drivers. You see, third-party drivers, bindings, and plugins. If you want to download the browser drivers, so you see, these are the browsers, platform supported by Selenium. We have browsers and we have OS. Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. So Selenium can be installed on any of these environments. Okay. And then browsers, Selenium can be, WebDriver can automate Firefox, Internet Explorer, Safari, Opera, Chrome, and Edge. So these are all the wide range of browsers where you can run your scripts. Okay. Now suppose, okay, I want to run on Chrome. Okay. You see, Chrome driver is supported by Chromium project. Please refer to their documentation for any compatibility information. Now I want to automate my script on Chrome. So I want a Chrome driver. I want to know or I want to have the implementations of this WebDriver in Chrome class. Okay. So once I click on this documentation, it will take us to the Chrome site. You see, sites.google.chromium. This is taken to this site. Now please note that we have migrated to new Chrome driver site. Current site will be deprecated. So this is the old site. Now they are also migrating to this site. See, it looks different. Understand? So, but still, under these downloads, it will be having the same version 91. Okay, and here also we have 91. So, how do we choose this version 90, 91, or 89 or 88? How do we download? Which one should we download? Okay. We cannot download the latest one, or we cannot download the old one. So how do we download, or what are the things that we should see when we download these things? Okay, so to download these things, we have to know our browser version. Okay, now if I go to browser, help, and about Google Chrome, it will give me the information about my browser. Which version it is having? 91. So I'll go here, I'll select the 91 version. Okay, that's all. That will be showing me this, and then I want to download. I'm not running on Linux, I'm not running on Mac environment, I'm running on Windows. So just click on this Windows 32, it will download a zip folder. Set. Okay, we have downloaded Chrome driver. Now, we might want to work with Firefox as well, right? So let me go back. Then under browsers, I have Firefox. I'll click on this documentation. It will take me to the Firefox page. You see, it is taking to Mozilla site, which is supported by Firefox. Okay, and then this is Gecko driver, which is being supported in Python, Java, and all those things. So where is my driver? Gecko driver. Okay, Gecko driver. Once you come here, there is downloads. Firefox usage. It's completely new page. Source code. Earlier it used to be direct, it should take us directly to the downloads page, but now it is giving us the complete information here. Gecko driver is implemented in support to Mozilla before this document. Might be they have changed this side. Let me search directly. Gecko driver. It is taking us to the documentation page. But we have to go here. Actually, it should take us to here, but it was taking to some documentation place. This is the place where you will see this Gecko drivers. Okay, which is from Mozilla only. They are storing these latest versions in. Again, here also you can download this based on the version you have on your Firefox. So this is the latest. I have my Firefox latest version, so I can just click on this latest version. Then you will see this information here. I want Windows 64. I'm in Windows 64-bit machine, so I'm using this Windows 64. Let's download it. Whatever the other browsers you want, Internet Explorer or Opera or Edge, whatever you want, you can download it. Now, if I click on Edge documentation, it will take me to the Edge site. Okay, you see release versions. I want version 93, 32-bit or 64-bit. I want 64-bit, just click on it. It will download Edge driver. So like this, you can download all the browser drivers so that you can start automating. Now we have language support, we have browser support. Okay, we have all these things. Let's go to the downloads. Okay, Gecko driver, Chrome driver, and Edge driver sample. I'll copy this to our location. SMB1, Selenium, files used. I already have web drivers, but these are old ones. So I'll just remove this. I pasted all the drivers here. Now, Selenium files. There should be some location where we safely store them, right? So that is why I'm storing. Now let's extract this. Okay. You'll see this Chrome driver.js. So you are having all the drivers at one place. Okay. Now I have downloaded this Chrome and extracted Chrome, so I'm deleting it. Now Edge. Extracted here directly. Edge driver is here. Okay. So I don't want this driver also. I want to extract this Gecko driver. Gecko driver is also here. This is driver related nodes. We don't want anything about this Edge. They have given some extra information. We don't want it. Right? So these are all the drivers we have now. Okay. So we have browser support. We have language support. Tomorrow we'll see how do we connect these two and how do we start Selenium automation. Okay. Any questions? We have done the background work, or we have done the prerequisites, like downloading the browser drivers and downloading the language support or language binding. Now we are done with the project setup. Any questions in this? No? Okay. Chalo then. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye, Nikhil.